The following is for entertainment purposes only. We are not financial advisors. We are not responsible for any losses, only the profits.
What's happening, Octo family? I've been talking a little bit lately how we're starting to lock everything down. Some cities, counties, states are starting to compress, tell people to not have Thanksgiving and all that. And so what does that mean? We're going to get some more compression from people going to school, and people still need to learn and progress in life somehow. So the best way we're finding to do that is through online. So what does that mean? We got some online learning stocks that I think are probably going to do pretty well here. Probably the next at least quarter. We might as well swing that, right? Number one, we're going to take a look at ticker LRN. Business is called K12 Inc. Who are they? Well, they are online learning. They have university partners. They have short courses. They have little boot camps, kind of the full spectrum. Most of these are. This one in particular has 160 plus degree programs across a variety of verticals. I think that's kind of crazy. You can get degrees online. 75 total university partners. That's a lot, but I could always get more, right? This is one of the smaller ones that's out there, but you know, if you've watched my videos before or know anything about this channel, we like to multiply. So we like to get stuff before it's cool, before it's the juggernaut. That way we can multiply it a little bit more. 170 plus short courses for those looking to further their education. To enterprise, educate your workforce in collaboration with our global network of 70 plus world-class university partners, a diverse portfolio of offerings. 2U Enterprise helps companies educate their workforce to address critical business needs of today and tomorrow. Here's the newest earning that came out. K12 was up 10% after earnings topper. Strong financial 21 guide. It's fantastic. The reports revenue growth of 44.3% in quarter three. That's fantastic. What company would you not like to own that could go up 44% in a quarter? General education segment revenue growth 34%. So they're growing way better than the sector, about 10% better than the sector as a whole. To $313.8 million, and career learning segment revenue was up 142.5% to $57.1 million. The enrollment data, the general education, up 49% year to year. Career learning, 126.5% over the year. Revenue per enrollment data, general education, down 7.6%. So general data in education, but career learning is still down 9.1. Regardless, I think schools and workforces are still going to continue even after, let's say we get through this, is over. I think that we're going to have a lot that are just like, dude, just stay home. It's way easier. We can continue to teach people and train people over the internet. It saves businesses money. One of the most expensive things for businesses is hiring. Hiring, training, it's a lot. Estimated EBITDA came in at $39.2 million versus $8.1 million consensus. Looking ahead, K12 sees full year 2021 revenue in the range of $1.445 billion to $1.47 billion versus $1.425 billion consensus. Going up. Capital expenditures range from $50 million to $60 million are expected. Adjusted operational income is expected to land in the range of $120 to $130 million. Shares of K12 are up 10% after trading after hours after that hit. Someone named Trink2345 on Seeking Alpha wrote, monster quarter. Valuation to CHGG is so skewed. So what are they saying? There's a stock called CHGG that, let's call it like the king of the space. They like to fly. They're up. There's a lot of little ones like this, though, that aren't that high, not that cool yet. But again, that means we can maybe multiply. I'd rather multiply than get 10, 20%, right? So what happened after the earnings? Well, right here in this graph here, this chart, when you see this white line, I threw this in for the earnings. So when you see this continuing from now on, this is going to be where the earnings last hit, following the trend that on a lot of stocks and earning plays. Now, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad earnings. People either sell the day of or the day before, or if the market happens to tank a week before, stuff is just kind of staying down. Regardless, this did have a little spike, but then it just boom, went down from $31 and let's say $34 all the way down to 21. Okay, 21 tagged this red line here, and now we've kind of been just channeling up. We're only at 23 though. And as I imagine, we're going to have more and more revenue increases. I could see this starting to climb for the next round of quarters, right? If it's only at 23, even if it matches last time, it should go to 25, 28, no problem. Absolutely no problem. It's already cleared this past gap. There's no other gaps I see to fill. This one looks pretty correct. Anyone in any of these, please put down in the comments. If I ever miss one, please let us know about that too. Number 2, we're going to take a look at 2U Inc. Ticker TWOU. Anyone in that one? They are down 3% despite beat upside revenue outlook. A lot of these smaller ones, just like many businesses, every cent they get and then some is put right back into the business because they're acquiring more brands, they're hiring more salesmen, they're trying to get more deals. I'd rather get into a company that's continually growing than one that likes to sit and rot. Here are some of the trusted brands and people that are using them. This is good. They're showing the brand recognition. This is Arizona State University, New York University, Fisher, Denver, Oregon, Texas, lots of big colleges, Carlson. Our products and offering, again, they've got short courses, boot camps, professional certificates. That's kind of cool, right? For electronic stuff too, like programming and all that. Undergrad and graduate degrees, unbelievable. You can just sit at home and get that done on a laptop. They've got 275,000 registered students, 63,000 field placements, 475 plus offerings, and 200,000 plus graduates, 75 plus university partners, 3,000 boot camp instructors. So they've got a full string of boot camp. I don't even know. Did they do workout stuff on here? I don't see why they shouldn't, to compete with that new mirror thing from Lululemon. Why not? Why not just sign on there, or any of the apps out there that teach you how to work out? Consolidated revenue growth. That's the angle we like to see. It's going up. I can only see it getting better. The last earnings, they beat the top and bottom line estimates. Q3 highlights that total revenue rose 31% year over year to $201.1 million versus consensus of $188. Graduate program segment revenue grew 18% year over year. This whole segment, you're going to see stuff like this. There's a comment here that said, I wish I owned more of this. Any suggestions, read good advice for adding shares? Big fan of Kathy Wood of ARK. Talked about that. Those ETFs. She's very bullish. TWOU is a holding in 2 of her funds. I did not confirm this. Is this confirmed? Can someone let us know down in the comments? If so, that's big. That's fantastic. Someone replied, said the stock seems to hold and bounce off of 33, 34. It also trades with the Cerveza stocks, which is not way beyond the value here. So on good days, it can drop, so it will follow the news, right? So like if vaccine news comes out, then it's probably going to go down. If the stuff gets more compressed, like I think it's going to happen until the end of the year for sure, with cities trying to close and stuff, to cancel Thanksgiving, it's going to eventually catch up. Chicago came out, New York, Seattle, now all the other cities are starting to say it, right? Good numbers. I expect acceleration going forward as they begin to monetize this disruptions we've got. Great results, cheap valuation, should really rally sooner or later. Target price 50 USD and higher. Could. I don't see why it shouldn't. Just by looking at the graph, we've already hit almost 50 before. I think we're going to keep climbing for revenues. I think the space is going to continue to get bigger, regardless of if this virus ever passes, if and when. Number 3, we got a big daddy here. CHEGG. Anyone in this one? Ticker CHGG, the one we were mentioning before. Again, they've got pretty much everything. Everything is figure outable with textbook solutions. They got textbook stuff, expert Q&A, video explanations, and practice problems. Check this out. They've got snap a pic and get instant math help. So you can just text a picture to them of a algebra problem and they'll tell you the answer. Wish I had that in high school or college, right? But you know, anything pre-algebra, calculus, algebra, everything. We've also got textbooks, all the major stuff, man. But look at this, 15 million CHEGG platform unique visitors in an average month, 3.9 million CHEGG services subscribers, voted Fortune's best small and medium workplaces to work for, 31% CHEGG services year-over-year revenue growth. There's a reason this is one of the most hyped, because they've got, I think they're the biggest, I think, and everything's going up. Of course, show me the money. Well, they had a negative 10.3 increase. Huh? How's that happen? Q3 shows subscribers of 3.7 million increased 69% year over year. Consensus was 3.61 million. Reports total net revenues of 154 million, an increase of 64% year over year. Services, this minus 10% was just saying the stock went down. So again, this is just people playing the buy the rumor, sell the news thing. So buy it when it's hyping. When everyone starts talking like, oh my gosh, the earnings are going to come out, buy, they're coming out in 3 weeks or a month. That's when people are buying. The second earnings get there, no matter if they're good or bad, they sell off. And then people are like, the earnings were good, why are they selling off? Because people were just surfing the wave, bro. That's it. So protect yourself, guys. You know, guys and gals, just watch this stuff. Well, the example, here you go. Look at this wave. I drew it right out for you. That's all you gotta do. See this? Where do you want to buy it? You want to buy when it's down next to this down red line, about $63, as close as you can. And then once it starts ramping up towards the next earnings, look what happens. It'll probably get close up to 89 again, like it always does. And then what's going to happen after earnings? Most likely, it'll dump. Could it eventually finally rip and break to 100, 110? Sure, I think it could. I think it, you know, once people are starting to see that most things are dipping after earnings, that's usually when things switch around. Just like I talk about SPACs a lot. Everyone hates SPACs right now. It's usually when they're starting to reverse. I've been asking a lot of people about it, and people still have that negative sentiment. The numbers are way down. I think SPACs are starting to rally. Number 4, let's take a look at Boxlight. Who are they? Who they do? What do they do? About the same thing, kinda. These guys are more like classroom digitized stuff. So they've been around for quite a bit too, since like 2016. They go in and acquire businesses by raising more capital, adding to debt, things like that, which is good. But they're rocking and rolling. They're buying cool systems here. The problem with this though is this is more geared toward in-classroom stuff, classroom software, interactive flat panel displays. So they've got like a big huge whiteboard, imagine, in your school, and it's digital, so you can like throw up a clip art of a fish and then make the kid go up there and write FISH, how to spell it, right? Can someone come write and tell me how to spell it without them having to draw the fish? Now they can just throw up a clip art of a fish. Standard and interactive projectors, interactive touch boards, collaboration at like big huge projector things. It's all cool stuff, but all this right now, I'm like, They do have the classroom software though, and I think that's great. And they are moving towards all that stuff. But then look at what else they've got. They've got Robo 3D printing. They've got robotic encoding, so like physical robots. They've got this mini view document camera. They've got this little portable STEM lab thing. To me, this company seems like it's cool that they own so much in this space, but holy Toledo, I think that they offer too much, man. Do they really need their own brand of 3D printer and their own document scanner? I don't know, man. I think it's a little bit too deep for me, but I think the price might reflect that too, and I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that because of that. It's cool. I'm all about learning, but sometimes you just got to focus on 2 or 3 things and be the best at that than just be mediocre and 17. They did just acquire another company that actually is bigger on like more presentation stuff, and it's more of like the digital interfacing, but again, physical stuff like meetings for businesses and whatnot. But here's the deal. They know what's going on, and so they are starting to focus more on the online educator community, enabling software. So like my little nephew right now, he's still at home with a school bought laptop and some sort of program. It might be this program right here. So they're making money on that, but all this other gizmo stuff is what it's cool, but who's going to pay for it? And then when they go back to school, are they going to want to shell out the money for that? I don't know, man. Global smart education learning market. The global smart education learning market is estimated to grow 182 billion in 2019 to 680 by 2027. So this is cool. This is kind of like I don't know, you can swing this one, I'm sure, but I wouldn't say this is best in the sector at all for what we're buying this for. But it's something you could definitely probably buy and hold. It might be fine. There are some weird things going on. Like, they did miss on revenue, not by much, but 0.03%. But this other company I'm talking about that they bought, and you can always come to my website down in the description. I've got a link and come and read more. I've got links on all this to investor presentations and all that. You can come do more homework if you want. I've already did. I'm just trying to condense it for everybody. But essentially this new business that they did buy, Sahara Presentation Systems, for $94 million, it's kind of funky because they didn't have that much money. So they acquired this thing for $94 million, but in the bank statements they didn't have $94 million. But they didn't talk about diluting shares. They didn't talk about a fundraise either. So is that in the works, or what's really going on with this? That's kind of funky to me. But again, they're still just buying more stuff. This presentation thing is cool again, but who's going to be buying that right now? Office presentation stuff. New earnings coming out. How about November 16th? That is on Monday. 4:30 p.m. Eastern time. That's end of day Monday. End of day Monday. So watch this thing. So here's kind of the weird deal is this one, again, white line is earnings here. This one really hasn't rallied as much as last time, right? Before on the previous earnings, well, I guess it is. It's sitting about the same, about $1.74. But look what happened after earnings on this one. It actually went up more. So watch these trends. If this one follows trends after earnings, even if they're bad like this one, it might go up. Judging by the chart, it should hit at least $2 no matter what the earnings are. Unless Monday morning this thing already rallies to 2 and then earnings comes out and then can dump again. Back to this 128, which is the support $1.28 that we have here to watch. And again, all these graphs are sitting here for you. Number 5 is not a specific learning program, but it's one that is still definitely used for it because teams do meetings when you're learning and showing stuff for schools even. Like schools use this to talk to teachers and principals. This is how they're communicating right now. So we've got to throw this one in, even though it's not 100%, learning software. Zoom, the big boy in the room. Can't deny these charts and this run this thing has had. The last earning, what happened? It went up. But this one went up and then faked everyone out. And then went back down. So this one actually had a rally for let's call it maybe a week after earnings here. And then it just dipped overnight, just blow. But I think this was kind of the market though. Remember, because the market right now is one of the craziest markets many have ever seen or heard of. And we're still going to be dealing with that no matter what. So if there's an insane catalyst that happens, it could throw everything off. It could be breaking lines and everything. But regardless, watch this line. I mean, where this is sitting now, I think by a charting perspective, as long as nothing tragic happens, this should go up. There's no reason it shouldn't be. As people are still using Zoom like crazy. They're going to keep using Zoom. more and more businesses are, there's still some businesses out there that still haven't fully gone home. Like a lot of real estate office mortgage people, they're still trying to be in their office. What if the city's finally telling them no? You can't have mortgage meetings or nothing. You got to do it via Zoom. Imagine, I watch this one. This is the big daddy in the room. I think this is one of the, it's one of the safer plays because of how macro the outlook is for it. It's not just learning and all that, but this has had a massive, massive run since March. So keep that in mind too, from like $100. I also put a line in and tagged all these charts for you. This dotted line was back in March on all the charts. So if you want to see where these were in March, just take a look at that. Their third quarter fiscal year 2020 webinar is going to be November 30th. So look out for that too. Number 6, we're going to take a look at CuriosityStream. Anyone ever heard of them? CuriosityStream, this was a SPAC. CURI is the ticker for me. CURI. This one's kind of cool. It's learning like Netflix style. So this is just straight up video stuff on, let's call it like an app for, your Xbox or your Roku, Android TV, iPad, Chromecast, TiVo, Sony, Samsung, Vizio, all that stuff, Apple TV. So you download the app, and it's just like a Netflix, but it's based around like cool learning stuff. And it's cheap. It's cheap for people to buy it. All on demand, all for less than $20 a year. Maybe the smart parents will sign up for this instead of Netflix because they want their kids to turn out a little bit better. Thousands of documentaries, award-winning exclusive and originals, so they've got their own stuff too. They're also bringing on celebrities. That's good. It will help sell this stock. Watch anytime, anywhere, cancel anytime. They do and will grow original content. So they're actually working on that. So listening to conferences and stuff, they're still definitely growing the personalized stuff, but they're also still always acquiring. Great. CuriosityStream announces their third quarter 2020 results 2 days ago. Third quarter 2020 revenue of $8.7 million, up 83% over the year. Now, hearing the word revenue of $8.7 million, to most folks that are watching this, I'm sure like, man, that seems low for the stocks we talk about. It is, but 83% year over year. This is in the infant stage, it's just starting to walk here. Gross margin increased 61% year over year from 59% in Q3 2019. Strengths executive team with key industry veterans. The guys that got in here from like Discovery Channel, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. Dive on in if you want to learn a little bit more. Lots of information I have here for you. They want to really focus on getting this thing global, and they are. But the other deal is they're always going to be growing their library. But here they're showing their segment. They're showing the factual segment of like, up to 2006, people were watching Discovery Channel, History Channel, National Geographic. But no one really watches cable anymore, as far as I'm concerned. So I think the new outlet makes sense to get something like CuriosityStream. I mean, we're talking $2.99 a month. I remember cable way back in the day was like $70 a month. I have no idea. I've never personally had cable myself, ever. Never been a fan. But regardless, they're showing that they've got a big segment here, and no one really focuses on the stuff they've got, and they've got a lot of cool stuff. This was kind of interesting to me. Significant and growing audience share for factual content. Planet Earth 2 becomes the most watched nature show. And they have 40.9% of that audience that have watched that show, watch it through them. It's pretty interesting. Planet Earth 2, more popular than the X Factor with young viewers. Maybe kids are going to, kids like to learn. They like the shock and the awe and the yippity-yah, but, people still like to learn, whether they know it or not. People still like to learn. I like this one. Where are we sitting for the stock? So it was a SPAC. It had about a $10-ish floor after the merger, which just happened about a month ago. It's gone from 10 all the way down to $8.31. It's kind of maintained. Now we're floating. We got a channel here I drew out all the way up to 961. We're now sitting at 922. This is one that, you know, it's kind of like the long play, right? Like if you want to get into this thing now and just hold for 2 years, I think this might be a neat one. You know, anyone already in this and knows some more information we haven't talked about. I also brought up the warrants. This one's got warrants too. So it's only trading at $1.10. I believe you can cash these in at probably around $11.50 strike price plus whatever you pay for that. So remember that too. But regardless, a lot of times warrants like to 2x your money a lot faster than stuff like the commons. But I think this one's kind of cool. Did I miss any other ones? Did I miss a big, huge one that I just totally forgot and spaced out? I could have kept researching this for more and more days, but sometimes I just got to get stuff out with what I've got. Thanks y'all for watching. If you haven't joined us before, please subscribe. It definitely helps out the channel. We also have a Patreon where I slide you information. I actually gave some of this deck away a little bit earlier before I do these videos. That way they've got it and they get a little bit better entries. Y'all take care and have a good day. Did you know that we give away free silver? Simply leave a comment on the video, and as long as you're in the continental United States, you can be automatically entered to win. Please friend us on Twitter and StockTwits.